What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Martian Manhunter from DC Rebirth. And so here we have the McFarlane Toys Martian Manhunter posing out of the packaging. Before we look at the figure, let's actually talk about his one and only accessory, which is your standard McFarlane display base. We don't get any alternate hands or anything else with Martian Manhunter, which I think is a missed opportunity. So with that out of the way, let's actually move on to his details. And so here we have a closer look at Martian Manhunter, and it's a really interesting figure. There's some things I like about it, some things I don't like about it. For starters, the head. I like and don't like the head at the exact same time. I don't know what it is about the head, but I really wasn't a fan of when I saw the front profile of it. I'm even less of a fan seeing the back of it. I think McFarlane should have really emphasized the alien-esque look for Martian Manhunter and just elongate his head a little bit more, as well as give him like more wrinkles and things, because he has a really smooth head here. It does look nice, and it does look like the DC Rebirth Martian Manhunter. I personally would have done the new 52 Martian Manhunter because that was a really nice costume, but overall it still looks like Martian Manhunter. I just kind of wish that he had a longer head, because he looks a little too human here, and I know he does that to appear more friendly to humans, but a little more alien would have been really nice. But still really love the eyes. They did a really good job capturing the look of his eyes, as well as the shading underneath his eyes. That beetle brow looks really good. Having a look at his outfit, again, this is from the Rebirth storyline. It's not the new 52, and it's not the classic Martian Manhunter, excuse me. He does carry over the shoulder pads that he started wearing when the new 52 started, or actually when he came back in Brightest Day, he had something along the lines of this outfit. He doesn't have the Martian rock on his chest anymore. It's more of his traditional emblem here, which still does look nice. We do have his cape clips right here going all the way to the back. As you can see, his cape is done in this really nice, soft, pliable plastic. I kind of wish that McFarlane would invest in like wired capes, but this is still very nice. Now, one problem I have with this cape is the way it flows. The camera will just focus really fast. I'm not a fan of how the cape drapes off to this side. Come on, camera, focus. I'm not a fan of how this cape drapes off to this side of the figure. You can see over here it's not as billowing as it is on the other side. I don't know why my camera doesn't want to focus today, but yeah, not a fan of the cape. I think they should have just done a more neutral cape, but yeah, it still looks pretty good, and it does strike a really nice pose. As far as the rest of his outfit goes, carrying over his traditional X that he normally has, he does have the harness, which does wrap around his torso all the way. You can kind of see where that X would be, and it still looks really nice. I do like it. The green that they chose for Martian Manhunter is very good. I do like it here. All that texture looks really good, and I kind of wish some of this texturing went up to his head, because again, his head is very smooth, but his body is textured, and I mean, it has a lot of texturing on it. So have no clue why McFarlane went the route of texturing his entire skin, but leaving the head very smooth. It's a little bit jarring. We do have a grip hand on his right hand and a fist for his left. We do have his belt that comes down to almost like a tassel, or not a tassel, but a tunic. Right here we have some more of those clips here. I do like the red and black, although I'm a fan of the red and blue for Martian Manhunter. The red and black looks really nice, or it could be a really dark purple. It still looks really good here, and I like the paint. I kind of feel like it could be a little bit cleaner, but it still looks good. He doesn't have any detailing on his pants here as far as paint. It is very textured. I do like it, and part of me feels like they were going for a classic Martian Manhunter as well, because his pants have the same texturing as his skin. So makes me wonder if we're going to see a classic Martian Manhunter in the future, because yeah, his pants have the same texture as his skin. So wouldn't surprise me if we eventually saw Martian Manhunter in his classic outfit, where we have him just wearing the trunks and the green skin, looking really nice here, and his boots also have nice texturing on them. Very nice, and I do like the red and blacks that they use. It's very clean on this figure. There are some spots where it's a little bit messy, but those are very small and it's very minuscule. So overall, Martian Manhunter gets a passing grade in detail by my book. So with that out of the way, guys, let's get Martian Manhunter posed for comparisons and see how he stacks up to other figures. Here we have Martian Manhunter posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Martian Manhunter posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 112 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. And finally, here we do have Martian Manhunter posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. So with the comparisons out of the way, guys, let's actually move on to his articulation now. Martian Manhunter does have a double ball joint in the head. Unfortunately, because of his cape and collar, that's about as high up as he looks. He can look down to about right there. And can we just appreciate the side profile of Martian Manhunter's head? That is very impressive. I do like that. He does have some really nice head tilt, which does lean side to side, as well as having some nice rotation. He also has ball jointed shoulders, so those do pivot forward and back really nicely. You can see the range of movement in that. They pivot up and down as well. Out to the side, they go out to about right there. Not all hindered by his shoulder pads right here. They are done in a softer plastic, so they will end up getting out of the way, but they will push his arm out to the side, so do keep that in mind. He does have a bicep swivel, which works fine. Double bend here at the elbow, giving us better than 90 degrees. He does have a swivel hinge here at the wrist, which does provide some up and down movement as well as rotation, and of course it does rotate on that pin. Martian Manhunter also does have a ball joint in the torso, which leans back to about right there, leans forward to about right there, so it's pretty decent. Leans side to side as well as rotates. Then we have another ball joint here at the lower torso, which leans back about that far. Leaning forward, he goes quite a bit. I do like that. That's better than most McFarlane figures, actually. Leaning to the side, and he gets some side to side, not a lot at the middle joint, so most of it is going to be at that torso cut right there. His legs do kick forward to about right there. They do kick back to about there. Out to the side, and it could be better, but we've seen worse. It still works. Very little thigh rotation, but he does have a double bend at the knee. No swivel at the boot, but he does have ankle rotation, which does work nicely. A hinge, which does go forward and back. Then we do have forward-facing pin for rocker ankle, and then of course we do have a toe hinge. So overall, Martian Manhunter has some pretty good articulation. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the McFarlane toys, Martian Manhunter posed for my final thoughts, and overall I do like some aspects of this figure. Now, one thing to take away from this figure is that he is relatively on the shorter side of the McFarlane scale, meaning he's not accurate size to most of the McFarlane figures. If anything, Martian Manhunter here is a little bit undersized. He should be one of the bigger Justice League members, and he turns out to be a little bit shorter than the Flash, which is a little bit unfortunate because Martian Manhunter is one of my favorite DC characters, and I really do like every time we get a new figure of him. I just kind of wish that McFarlane put a little bit more effort into this figure, maybe giving us an alternate head or even some weapon hands would have been nice for this figure, just to show off his powers a little bit. Overall, the sculpt on this figure is very nice. It is very solid, and despite him not being in scale with McFarlane figures, he does surprisingly fit in with most 6-inch figures, so I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, Martian Manhunter actually works with 6-inch figures, so if you do have a 6-inch figure line, this is going to fit in perfectly. Now, Martian Manhunter is starting to hit stores at the time I'm making this video. He is going to be available at your local Targets, Walmarts, Walgreens, Amazon, Big Bad Toy Store, and Entertainment Earth really soon. So if you have him on pre-order, expect him to be shipping out very, very soon. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other DC Multiverse videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.